For a while now, I've been wanting to try something new, both with my channel and with my aim training, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to start. This experiment ended up giving me a lot of insight and ultimately helped me find out where my weaknesses might lay, so be sure to stick around to the end to find out. I really wanted to take my aim to the next level this year. Seeing all these amazing aimers makes me really want to get out there and do something better. But before that, we have to establish the rules. They're simple. 40 to 60 minutes of smoothness every day, and on Wednesday I'll be throwing in some sensitivity randomizer. Be sure to stick around to find out how that goes. And don't forget to hit that like and sub button. It tells me you want to see more videos like this one. Started off great. I actually felt a difference immediately. I wanted to stay true to all the settings I was using, the mouse I was using, and even the games I was playing to see if this experiment actually had any effect on my aim. I was tired that day after a long shift of work, but I was hopeful and wanted to see what I could do in the future. Oh, and I played Rid Smooth, which was around 25 minutes, as well as Pure G Smoothness Routine, which is another 25 minutes. I feel it's important to mention I personally feel the effects of aim trainings instantly. If I go and train reactive, I'll become better at that directly. So in game, I could instantly tell my tracking got a lot better. I was tracking a lot more smoothly, especially on close ranges. My mouse just took over, and strangely enough, it almost felt like I had aim assist, like I had to do less. But ultimately, I felt like I was struggling to react to smaller movements, and this might have been because of my long shift of work, or it had something to do with the smoothness, which is ultimately why I decided to change things the following day. Now, I was feeling a lot more rested on Tuesday, and I had my hopes up for this day actually. I'd been playing with visuals I had found from AimLab, and I was honestly wondering if they were the right fit for me at this point. But I kept them, and now I was eager to see how I'd perform in-game. I wanted to try something different, so Psev's Smooth plus Reactive V2 was my choice. You might think that sticking purely to smoothness in this experiment, but some reactive elements are hard to deflect. I mean, it gets hard playing Smooth Sphere and Smooth Bot like 60 minutes a day. Most of these scenarios were something like long strips any day. The ones that had too many reactive elements to them, I try to skip. I was also working on my Discord server, which should be out now, so links in the description. But here's what matters. In game, I felt my flicks become strangely more accurate, like I was more consistent rather than flashy. It didn't give me insanely fast flicks or insane tracking, but at this point, it made me feel like I could more than often kill that guy. Now I'm wondering how the next couple of days are going to treat me. Ultimately, Wednesday was the decision maker. My goal was one thing: to see progress or to think of this as failure. So far, my aim felt good, but it didn't take my aim to the next level. You might say 1 week isn't enough, but I beg to differ. 3 days had already gone by. If I didn't start to see any improvement, I wouldn't really be thrilled with this experiment. So I decided to change things and switch to AimLab. For a lot of people, they say visuals, crosshairs, stuff like that don't matter. But for me, I actually think it really does. It changes what my eyes focus on, how my aim feels. And from time to time, it feels good to change these things. So I switched to Kovo JT's visual on AimLab, as well as a combination of his playlist and RA's playlist, making sure to only play the smoothness parts. Whenever I find myself in a slump, there's always one thing that comes in clutch and always makes my aim feel one step ahead using it, especially on tracking scenarios, and that's sensitivity randomizer. That's one of the main reasons I actually switched to AimLabs. I also use this crazy zoom in techniques he uses on some scenarios, and it's definitely something I'm going to make a video about in the future. Despite all of this, despite all my best efforts, the changing up, the trying new stuff, in game, it was bad. I felt my aim decrease, my flicks weren't on point, my tracking was off. I was thinking maybe it was just a day off, but it felt like I wasn't even reacting to changes in movements. For these past days, I really considered quitting this whole thing. On Thursday, nothing really much interesting happened. I played Pure G Smoothness 3 times and didn't play any games. I don't know. My motivation was kind of at a low point at this time, and I figured some rest might do me some good. Friday was completely different. I again switched back to my OG settings and even swapped mice, and it was feeling good. See, these previous days felt like I was getting no clips and very little enjoyment of playing as a result. Maybe it was the good old rid smooth 3 times that made me feel great. But I actually got my hopes up for this whole thing. In game, I started feeling a lot more consistent again, and even if it wasn't the results I was looking for, we'll take it. Saturday. I was just getting tired of Smoothness at this point. There's only so many playlists you can do. Rich Smooth was a great option. Playing that playlist for a year or so already, it didn't feel as rewarding. So I decided again to still play it 3 times. And the results were great. Nothing out of the ordinary. I wasn't taking my aim to the next level. This focus on smoothness wasn't what I thought it would be. And it didn't make me a tracking god. It didn't make me a flicking god. It didn't improve my aim to another level like I thought it would. But as my man Thanos said,
reality is often disappointing.
Saturday, for the entire Sunday, my aim felt great, but like the previous days, nothing really new happened. So I end the experiment on this day without the results I actually wanted. And at the end of the day, I guess the point of this video just became proof for me. Proof I need to diversify my aim. Proof smoothness wasn't the part holding me back. Perhaps I should do these experiments with other aspects of aim. I will touch on this briefly. I've been playing a lot of CS, so my flicks were never really getting off or being bad at any point, but I could tell they weren't 100%. I would say my flicks definitely took a hit, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. So be sure to comment down below if you learned something. Join the Discord. Tell me what you think in the next video or what experiment I should try.